Human fecal fertilizer. Is this crap in our food? Hi, and welcome to a new video. Karen from EdibleWildFood.com here, and today's video, a lot different from the others I've done in the past. I hope you stick it out to the end. Now, more than ever before, eating wild foods has an important place in our daily diet. If the high food prices aren't bad enough, or the chemicals sprayed on farmers' fields, or the food additives, or the nutrient-deficient soils that food is grown in, some farmers are using human fecal fertilizer to fields growing the food we ingest. Before I get into this video, I want to thank all my subscribers for being here today. And if you're new to my channel, please do me the kindness and consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to share this valuable information. Also, I'd really love to know what your thoughts are about human fecal fertilizer. Be sure to leave them in the comments below. Let's get going. Human excrement used as fertilizer goes back thousands of years. Many large-scale civilizations use this type of fertilizer as a commodity integrated into networks of regional trade. This is best documented in East Asia, where human excrement has an extensive history of agricultural use dating back to at least the 3rd century BC. During the 1700s and 1800s, there were night soilmen. Now, these guys were paid 3 times more than anyone else. Although this was primarily in London, England, it was throughout Europe as well. Night soilmen worked during the darkness of the night. They would haul off crap from every crevice within the city, and they'd haul it off into cesspools, or they would sell it to farmers. In New York City, collecting poop was also a profession, but it was generally thrown into the Hudson River, where it strangled docking areas. Night soil is an historical term used for human waste collected from privies, cesspools, and other areas. The term night soil isn't used as much nowadays. Sewage, sludge, or wastewater biosolids is often used, but mostly it's biosolids. And depending on where you live, some places give it an even nicer name, like granulite. So how many more names are trademarked out there that we have no clue about? You may even be purchasing this biosolid in a plastic bag from your garden center and putting it in your garden. Back in the day, this night soil was just human excrement. Nowadays, everything that goes down our home and street drains makes it into the treatment plants and transformed into what is being applied to farmer fields as well as land reclamation. Is the bleach, chemical drain decloggers, shampoos, especially those with sodium lauryl sulfate, and other personal care items which are laced with chemicals, being totally removed in the process of creating this fertilizer? Or how about blood, dead fish from home aquariums, fats, oils, grease, pharmaceutical and illegal drugs, alcohol, and whatever else gets tossed into our drains? Is this all being properly treated? I have serious doubts. What about you? What are your thoughts? Leave your comments below. Fertilizer from human waste, which is what you're looking at right now, faces a lot of opposition. There are many who argue this needs to end, but like so much in life, this appears to be a profit over people industry. Years ago, I had the pleasure of interviewing Jesse Ventura, and he always stated when something doesn't seem right, follow the money. And if you're interested, I'm going to put a link below to the interview that I did with Jesse. From the research I've conducted, converting sewage to fertilizer saves cities millions of dollars on landfill costs. It's a cheaper, supposed fertilizer for farmers, and it's become a billion-dollar industry for a handful of companies. There is no shortage of research out there now that clearly shows biosolid fertilizer contains chemicals and other contaminants that can harm the environment and human health. Yet industry is fighting to keep their profits high. Lehigh County, just north of Philadelphia, was facing opposition of using biosolids on farmer fields. Although this particular news article is from 2011, there are so many more news stories out there on how people and organizations are stepping up to fight this. In central Oklahoma, Sandra Trawick, who owns a 38-acre donkey farm, stepped up to the plate and fought the use of biosolids. A few short months after she experienced the stench of biosolid fertilizer in the air, she was instrumental in the town of Luther to ban the use of biosolids, which the city leaders did in 2020. In 2022, the Maine legislature banned the use of biosolid fertilizer and allocated $60 million to help contaminated farms, including many dairy farms that were forced to shut down. Links to this and to the news article in the previous slide will be in the description below. Due to tainted beef, some cattle farms have been forced to shut down. A news story I found from 2022 stated that beef produced at a Michigan farm was found to contain toxic forever chemicals after the cattle were fed crops grown with fertilizer made from wastewater biosolids. In an article by Great Lakes Now, the link will be below, in 2021, Michigan banned land applications of biosolids containing more than 150 parts per billion of PFAS and requires testing of biosolids before they can be placed on the land. In Michigan, biosolid PFAS standards are stricter than in most states. However, some environmental watch groups have scoffed at a state-by-state approach, and they're calling for nationwide regulations instead. In 2024, the Maryland-based environmental nonprofit group, Public Employees for Environmental Responsibility, sued the EPA over the lack of biosolid fertilizer standards. Where that lawsuit is right now, I don't know. From the research I've conducted over the past few weeks, there is no shortage of credible information out there that shows that biosolid fertilizer contains a nasty cocktail of chemicals that can harm the environment and human health. Check this out here if you want. Stop the video and read these other items that are in biosolid fertilizers. And if you want, stop the video and read this. In a nutshell, antibiotic-resistant genes are in the soil that has this type of fertilizer, and therefore it may be in the actual food we eat. And this can increase our exposure to antibiotic-resistant bacteria. And what exactly is in our poop that I haven't already mentioned before? There's a whole bunch of things. You can stop this video and read this. And this is according to Cornell University. And because the treatment of human sludge into fertilizer involves a lot of heat, some of these things are heat resistant. Can biosolid fertilizer be linked to some of the food recalls that are on the increase? This is where my journey began, when I began to ask the question, why is it so many food items are being recalled? This is happening more and more to the point where it seems like it's almost out of control. Is there a link? I don't know. But if there is, I don't think I'm ever going to find out the truth on this. What do you think? Put your comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say on this. Professor David Howell at Harvard University says it best. Not all poop is created equal. So the industry's argument that this fertilizer can actually add nutrients to the soil is highly dependent on the quality of the poop. And in today's highly processed fast food society, we already know here in the United States and Canada that healthy poop probably goes into the minority of toilet bowls. Even those eating a lot of plant-based foods may be eating nutrient-deficient produce because the soils are nutrient deficient. Nutrient-deficient diseases are soaring. So how much healthy poop actually makes it to these treatment plants? This topic has even been addressed in the New York Times. So, some companies now are obviously fully aware that they are poisoning farmland, and they're looking for protection. Sinagro is a company owned by a Goldman Sachs fund, and they are very busy lobbying Congress to limit the ability for farmers to sue. For more detailed information, just stop this video and read the slide. The concept of land application of biosolids appears to present an ideal answer to the problem of waste disposal. In a perfect world, if our poop was truly clean and healthy, treated sewage sludge as fertilizer would complete the natural cycle of food. But unfortunately, we're far, far away from that perfect world. So, what do we eat? Do your research, ask questions, and most of all, learn about the nutrient-dense wild foods that are out there. Check out other videos I've done. Check out my website. Links will be below. Thank you to each and every one of you who made it to the end of this video. I am truly grateful. Remember, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave your comments below. I am truly interested in what you have to say about this topic. And if you were unaware about this topic and want to educate your friends and family, please share this video. Thank you, everybody.